right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Blind View here on Rumble. And here is your host, Miss Rebecca Meadows.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening for another exciting episode of The Blind View right here on Becca's World. I am your host, Rebecca S. Meadows, and it's not going to surprise anybody that at the top of my agenda list today was talking about a political thing. But I want to lead with a different topic first because I was watching TV today and I saw this exciting report that Mattel is coming out with an autistic Barbie. And I was really excited about that. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to talk to the panel and see what other people think about this idea. And and I was wondering if anybody knows if Mattel ever came out with a blind Barbie. Does anybody know?
My parents, this is vulnerable hour, I guess, wanted to give me a.
Oh Lord!
My parents wanted to give me a
Barbie
blind doll, not a Barbie, but it was a doll, and it had the cane, and I guess it had the closed eyes. I mean, my eyes are always closed, so I went.
No, wait! Wouldn't that be an action figure?
No, it was a doll. It was like. It was a doll that they wanted me to have, and it had the cane, and it had a little like loop where it would loop around its arm, and it was something.
Wow.
So I don't know where they got it from. I don't know if it was Mattel, but yeah, they did make blind dolls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about. Yeah,
I know. Yeah. My thoughts exactly.
Having fun with the new sound effects.
My thoughts exactly. Yeah. That.
yeah, but I'm really puzzled. I mean, we can come back to the blind Barbie or any doll, for that matter. But autistic? I mean, what?
How
does
do
it
you
come
know?
from?
How would you know that it was?
So the Barbie comes with certain, tools that are specific to people with autism, and I don't remember what they were. There were 2 or 3 different tool
Okay.
items the Barbie comes with, and when they said the items, I recognized them as things that autistic people use. Like one's a certain kind of phone or something, I think, or headphones or something like that. So like it's just a Barbie doll with some of those things, and I think it's really awesome for the same reason like for the same reason that Gino and I created Don't Look Now, right? We created Don't Look Now to educate people about blindness. Well, these Barbie dolls, the autistic Barbie dolls, will educate little girls and little boys about autistic children. And I hope that Mattel has come out with a blind Barbie, to educate children about blind people too, because like I was the only blind student in my school, right? And nobody had a clue. It was very isolating. But if more children are educated about blind people because they're playing with a blind Barbie or they're educated about autistic people because they're playing with an autistic Barbie, I just think it's really exciting. And it will help to open doors for more education for disabled people. You know what I mean? And so I really
That is a good thing.
Mattel for that.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
But do they advertise it as autistic Barbie, or you just came to that conclusion?
No,
Yeah, I thought it, you said it on you, right? That's what I was going to ask too.
So I was watching a news report about it, and they said that Mattel is coming out with an autistic Barbie. They are specifically naming it autistic Barbie, and she has, like I said, these tools that autistic people use in their everyday lives. So it will help to educate children about autistic people. So if they come across autistic children in school or work or other areas of life, it'll just prepare them better, and it'll make the experience for the autistic person better too. You know what I mean?
Well, and I can say right now that I used to work with a guy that I guess the modern sensitive term would be had intersectionality between autism and blindness, but he was a very, very high functioning autistic person. And so I think that far too many people think of autism as the like really profound, severe type, but it is not always that profound or severe.
Well, there is a spectrum.
Yeah.
There is a spectrum, which means there's a range, and it's a wide range, and like there's Asperger's and autism. They're related, but one is more intense than the other. You know what I mean? Um, and
Well,
Well,
I guess
for that matter, I think Elon Musk is on that spectrum.
Yeah,
oh
he
yes, he
is.
is. He is. Yeah, it's not a slur against anybody. All I'm saying is there is a spectrum between like autism and Asperger's are closely related, but there's a spectrum of autism and a spectrum of Asperger's. It's you know what I mean. There's high functioning and low functioning and mid functioning people.
Oh, of course, and I mean, it's like, love him or hate him. I'm far more than a one trick pony. It's like, I mean, if that doesn't prove somebody that's had a successful life, I don't know what would.
Yeah.
Well, I think not to rain on anyone's parade by any means, but the question that I would have is, who is this down? Who is it? Who is its audience? Because if it's for people who have autism, that's great. But to your point, Becca, I understand what you're saying, but is that a DAO that people who don't have autistic kids, is that one that they're even going to buy or even look at?
I believe so. Listen, when I was a child, my dad and my stepmom bought me an African American Cabbage Patch, right?
Mhm,
Nobody
mhm.
in our family is African American, but they bought me an
Right.
African American Cabbage Patch, and I'm assuming they did it because there weren't any African American people around where I was living in Montana, and
Sure.
so I'm assuming they sent it to me to help make me think about colored people, right? And that's all these autistic Barbies will do. It'll just cause children and adults to think about autistic people a little bit more and be more aware. And I'm excited about this. And like I said, I hope Mattel comes out with a blind Barbie too.
Well, like I
Yeah,
said, I
I
know there
maybe
are blind dolls, but I don't know if it's Mattel because I know I had one. Oh, I have no idea
Yeah,
where it is though, so don't ask that
yeah,
question.
I may be outnumbered here, but I think it sounds a little Tim Walls to me. I'm sorry, it's a little bit
well, I know it may
it's
seem
out
that
there.
way, but like I was a sighted child at one time, right? And had I played with a blind Barbie, maybe I would have thought a little bit more about blind people. But instead, when I suddenly went blind at the age of 12, I was completely lost because I had never thought about blindness at all.
But why would your
You know?
parents thought to even buy you a blind doll?
Yeah, why
Well,
would
They
they?
wouldn't.
well, if there was one on the market, they could have. Like I said, like parents do that kind of stuff all the time. Like I would, if that kind of stuff, if I had little girls and that stuff was available, I would have bought it for my daughters just to expose them to a reality of life that they may not be exposed to.
No,
Because
I go ahead.
it's part of learning and growing. And I believe in exposing my children to whatever I can to help them become a better rounded person.
Sure,
I have
sure.
nothing against the exposure, but I don't think that toys are the way to go, especially for not the targeted audience. Like, I mean, if a person never met a person with disabilities, I mean, they're not going to play with a doll. They would not know what the hell to do with it. And
Well,
Well,
I I
but
think
again, I think
I
kind
think
of
it's,
what you said.
I have to disagree, Anya. Like I I was a sighted little girl once, right? I was sighted till I was 12. I would have loved to play with a Barbie doll with a cane. I would have thought it was really cool, and I think most kids would.
but you
And
didn't even know what the cane was when you were sighted. Like you didn't give it much of a thought. I betcha.
but
Like you
but
had
but
no clue.
if I would have been given a Barbie doll with a white cane when I was a little girl, I would have played with it and I would have understood a little bit what the white cane was. So when I suddenly went blind at the age of 12, maybe it wouldn't have been such a shock to me. I mean, I believe in educating our children and giving them a chance to experience things. So, like I said, if I had little girls, I would have given her one of those Barbie dolls, the autistic Barbie doll, the blind Barbie doll, any of those Barbie dolls, because I think they're good for kids. But I had little boys.
Where did you see the commercial?
I was watching Newsmax today, and they talked about it on the news.
Okay, because I haven't saw it yet, but I don't often pay to take away ads, so I'll keep my
It,
Can
eye
it,
on
it
it.
wasn't.
can I
It
jump in with
wasn't
a
an ad, it
question,
was a
Becca?
report about it. What?
Oh, sorry. Normally I don't want to jump in, but this is such an interesting topic, and my curiosity from all of you guys, especially anybody. I don't know if Paul, you've been blind your whole life, or Anya, but they're playing with a doll with a cane. So does anybody find that somehow insulting? Just kind of in concept?
No, like when my little brother used to play with GI Joe figures, they had guns, right? Well, a blind doll would have a cane. It's same difference. You know what I mean?
I don't think. I'm assuming y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's insulting. I think with my parents, they wanted me to do it because they wanted to show me like, hey, there's not like other people like you, but hey, there's a toy that they
Well, because
made.
you were blind, though. That's why
Yes,
they got it
correct.
for you.
And it didn't bother me none at all.
No, my
No,
thing
I'm
about
talking about sighted kids playing with, as basically
Oh.
make believe that they are sighted playing with two dolls, let's say, and they're pretending that this one is a blind character in their scenario in their mind of
Yeah.
playtime. Is that not insulting in some way?
I'm actually concerned. No, I'm not. So I have been blind all
Okay.
of my life. I was born blind. I'm not insulted by it, but what I would be concerned about is the meanness of kids, right? Whether sort of intentional or unintentional. Kids develop, a hierarchical complexes very early. So I don't know. Apparently, somebody thought it would be a good idea, though.
I remember when we were little playing house, where one of us would pretend to be mom, one would pretend to be dad, and so on. I remember us playing store, where one of us would pretend to be the storekeeper. Well, if I had thought about blindness because I had a blind Barbie doll, I probably would have played games where we pretended one of us was blind too. But it just never entered our world because we weren't ever exposed to it. But this would be a way to expose children to it so they think about it a little bit. You know what I mean? So at least it's on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but my question is, where does it stop? I mean, we have we have whole hosts of disabilities. Like, are we going to have a Barbie without a leg, without an arm? Are we going
Yes,
to have
why
a
not?
Barbie
I
with
think that's
alcohol addiction and drug addiction? And she
I
gonna
think
become a
it's a
syringe?
great idea. Well, maybe not the drug and alcohol addiction.
Why not?
Because those are different than the kind of disabilities I'm talking about. And I don't want to do anything that will promote drug or alcohol use to children.
Yeah,
That's
but you need to
why
know
I'm
that what
saying
not
we
to
wouldn't
do.
use that, Anya, because you wouldn't want to promote drug and alcohol use to children.
Right, but you want to teach them not to do it.
But what I'm talking about is educating children. I don't understand what your problem is with that.
I think inclusiveness, or however you want to put it, gets too much out of hand. Like I said, I mean,
It has nothing to do with
autistic.
being
I mean, it's a
inclusive.
psychological condition. I mean, you can't play autistic. You can. It's like to wear somebody's mask. Okay, so that's how we envision being autistic or schizophrenic.
When you read a book, are you not imagining in your mind what the characters are going through? If you're reading about someone who has autism, like, don't you know how to put yourself in the place of a character when you're pretending?
No, I don't do that.
Okay, well, I was talking about children playing, right? Like, 'cause children pretend. And all I'm saying is, like, when I was a child, I never had the opportunity to play with a blind doll, but I sure would have loved it had I had the opportunity. Or a doll in a wheelchair, or a doll who uses sign language, or who requires sign language, you know what I mean? Like there's lots of things the toy industry could be doing, you know what I mean, to help make things better in America for people of disabilities. And it wouldn't hurt. It would only give children another way to look at the world. And the more options you give a child in their mind, more ways you teach them to think and stuff, it's just better for the kids.
Yeah, I would love to see the statistics, how much non-disabled parents buy toys like this to non-disabled kids of their own.
Well,
I would too.
Like it. There aren't very many toys like it.
Well, there are blind Barbies. They came out like a year ago or 2 years ago.
Okay, well so maybe before the next show we should do research on that. Maybe I'll do research on that and see how many of these disabled toys are being purchased. But I just don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a really positive thing, and I just commend Mattel for doing that. And any other toy manufacturer that's going to come out with similar toys to help our children, you know what I mean? Because
But I think, go ahead.
like all of us were blind children, right? And I don't know if you guys went through the same isolation that I went through, but it was very isolating because no one around me understood blindness. So, and not even me, right? And maybe if they had understood blindness because they'd been exposed to blind Barbie, maybe my experience would have been better.
Yeah, I'll just wait till they come in with a Barbie with diabetes.
I just don't.
I will just let you guys
I think
know
that'd
as
be
far
cool
as the
too.
data. So Mattel has not publicly released details on their total sales figures specifically for Blind Barbie. There aren't official revenue numbers or globally tracked unit sales available in any press releases or earning reports. Who knows why?
But they do have a blind Barbie.
They do, yes. Evidently, they do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I'm just more curious, you know. I'm not
we-
advocating for or against. I'm just more curious.
We
I
could not
I
have
ultimately do
Barbie-
think it's a mostly good thing, but I think a lot depends on how the parents present
Yeah,
it.
I would agree with that because, I mean, if you have a person and you are a parent and you have a child and you quote unquote want them to live quote unquote a normal, if you will, life, I don't know if you would get. I think Becca, you're very sensitive to this kind of thing, and I think that's a good thing. Like you really want people to be educated, but that doesn't mean all parents do. And so I'm in agreement with you that I do think it is a good thing that this kind of thing is being created overall. But
So
I think what I would say though is if you a doll, what I will say is not going to educate. It is our job as visually impaired people or a person with diabetes or a person with autism. It is our or their job to do that, not a doll. I think the doll's audience is to the autistic individual or the blind individual or the parents with blind children. That's the audience there. I
I
don't think
second
the
it.
audience is
So,
people
Brandon,
who
how do
don't have.
you feel about this? How do you feel about blind, like disabled dolls for your children? Do you feel like it would be a positive thing for your children or not? Because you and I are really the only ones on the panel who even have children, I think.
Well,
No, I don't have either.
I have children and
I
Brandon does,
don't-
but you and Paul don't.
I don't have children that
Right.
I know of.
Brandon, what do you think?
well,
Where was the laughing sound effect?
I think, I think, I mean, for me,
Wait.
I think for me, like, it's kind of too little, too late. But I don't mean to be that mean about it. But I mean, my kids already know. But I mean, I can say this though. I think it's good that things like this are being represented because I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I've been asked to go into several classrooms for my kids. And let me tell you, I do know what you mean, Becca. Let me tell you, in most mainstream school classrooms,
Public schools.
right, they know nothing about blindness, and they're weirded out by it. They don't understand it. They're kind of fearful about it. So I mean, I think it's a good thing that things are, you know, different disabilities are being represented. But I mean, I'm just saying, I can all too easily, like what keeps coming to my mind is Sid in the original Toy Story, right? I can just all too easily see people buying it and just being very mean on purpose too.
Who was
How
Sid?
kids
I don't
are.
understand. What about Sid in the original Toy Story?
Oh,
I
he
haven't seen that one.
destroyed toys. He
Oh.
did not like toys, and he set them on fire and blew them up and cut them up, and so. But I think it's ultimately a good thing that disabilities are being represented more prominently.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, guys. Hi, it's me, Rebecca S. Meadows, the author, with my new book, Living on Borrowed Time, The Ravings of an Angry Survivor of Traumatic Brain Injury and Guardianship Abuse. It's available on Kindle Digital Download, Amazon Print on Demand, and on Audible. Please go check it out. And now back to the show.
And
Okay.
I would say, Brandon, to your point, I've spoke at classes before, and I actually very much enjoy doing that. Because you are absolutely right. Go ahead, put the bacaus in the soundbite. I'll say it 3 more times so you can. But I have done that before, and I enjoy doing that because the kids have so many interesting questions.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty funny. Some of them are really, really smart. Admittedly, there is a group of kids I probably lack the most, which I won't really get into that demographic, but I actually enjoy doing that because it does educate, and I do think that really is the way to do that versus a doll. But like I said, to Mattel's credit, good for them. I think if this helps include others, I think that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'll say one more thing. I think we have other topics to cover, but I just want to say one more thing about this. So, I mean, yes, I am familiar with a lot of different disabilities, being blind myself, but I imagine myself being a parent, with no disability, and my kid has no disability. I cannot imagine myself going to the store and buying, say, a Barbie in a wheelchair. Like I don't even closely imagine that. And blindness as well, because people are terrified of blindness. Like they're so scared, and then they're never gonna, especially not knowing nothing about it, they're not gonna go and say, okay, let me buy this blind or otherwise disabled doll for my child so he can learn.
A doll is a lot less threatening than walking up to a blind person on the street. I mean, they're so scared to approach blind people on the street. But if they get more comfortable around blind people because they've been playing with a blind doll, they may be more likely to approach us, Anya.
But doll is not going to talk to them. It's not going to say, hey, look, I'm blind, but I can do this, and I'm a normal.
But it will if the child uses their imagination. See, that's what I'm talking about. Children use their imagination when they play with toys. And that's what you do when you play with a Barbie. You use your imagination. You make the Barbie walk and you make her say things. Well, if it's a blind Barbie, you'll get to play with her cane and make her walk with her cane and make her pretend she's going to lunch with her friends or riding the subway or any of the cool things we get to do every single day. All I'm saying is I don't see the harm in it. I only see positive things that would come from it. And as a parent, I would embrace that. Like I said, I didn't have little girls though that played with dolls. Unfortunately, I had 2 little boys.
Okay.
All right, let's move to Paul. Has a topic about headphone technology.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I guess I get the floor now. Although I did find that prior conversation very interesting. I think we really could have continued that for the next 30 minutes.
Well, we can come back to it after we learn more about this Mattel, what they're actually up to.
Sure. Well, I don't know if my topic is that interesting, although some might consider it that interesting. I guess my question to y'all and to maybe anyone who's watching is whether you use wired headphones or wireless headphones. We all use headphones. I mean, the majority of us, or a lot of us, use headphones every day. Whether it's listening to music, whether it's taking a phone call and preferring to use the Bluetooth option, we all use it. Now, for me personally, because I guess I brought this topic up, so I'll kind of give my opinion on it and let y'all know what I kind of found out. I always use wired headphones. I have been given wireless before, and I have used them before, but I never really seem to stick with them.
You always use wired.
Always use wired, and
Wow.
there are a few reasons for that. One of them is I do think the sound quality is better in wired headphones. The Bluetooth technology certainly has gotten pretty good now to where the audio can be pretty good. One of the reasons I also use it is wired is because I feel like with Bluetooth, there still is a tad bit of a delay. And maybe it's, say, a quarter or an eighth of a second, but that delay is enough to drive me absolutely nuts. So I always for that purpose. And, I I don't like to have a lot of things to keep track of. And so I know with a lot of these, you have to have a charger or an adapter with the wireless ones. And so to me, it's like, okay, well, if I just have the wired ones that I have, um, I don't have to keep track of a charger. So I did look up some information in terms of what people use more. And I did find an interesting online study where people kind of asked, I don't know, around 7,000 people what they preferred. Now, uh, wireless is still the more popular option. And I understand that because if people say go to the gym, they don't want wires when they're working out. Or when people are jogging, they don't want wires when they're running. Um, I can tell you that it's not always great to have wires when you're washing dishes because I've broken and snagged headphones on the cabinet doors washing dishes, but I haven't left them. But nevertheless, wireless is still a lot pretty much the market right now, or at least over 50% according to this particular survey. Now, it does look like wireless is coming back um, because people are getting more into audio and sound and the quality of that. People that don't have a lot of money, though, are buying wired because they are a little cheaper than wireless. Some people have called me a cheapskate, so maybe that's part of the reason why I do use wired. But I was waiting for the laugh sound effect, but that doesn't appear. Who's engineering this thing? Um,
I thought the other sound was good. It's like careful, careful, looking.
oh, okay. So yeah, I think that now that people are coming back to kind of audio quality, they are they they are. It looks like wired headphones are kind of making a little bit of a comeback. So that's kind of something I want to talk about because, in a weird sort of way, I find it really interesting because we all have to consume or listen to music. I would say more people consume it these days than listen, but that's a topic of another discussion.
I happen to be wearing wired headphones currently.
Okay.
Me too right now, but I only use mine wired in very specific circumstances.
Yeah.
And I'm a wired wired headphone user myself as well.
Yeah.
I do have a pair of Bluetooth ones. My husband gave it to me for Christmas at least 2 years ago, and I think I used them once or twice.
I agree. I use Bluetooth a lot. I would say 90% of my headphone usage is Bluetooth.
I like Bluetooth, but it seems like every time I get a Bluetooth device, it lasts for about a year, and then it stops working. And I think I might have a pair of Bluetooth headphones in my drawer that might still work if I try to charge them, but I'm getting tired of buying Bluetooth stuff and having it quit working.
Now let me ask you all this. One of the things I mentioned kind of while talking about it was besides clearing my throat about half a dozen times, do y'all experience the delay at all? Like I mentioned, when you use Bluetooth, is there any delay when you're tapping on things or anything like that? Or is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is. It's slight, and I will say that Bluetooth standards, 4.x and 5.x have made it better, but yes, there is still a slight delay.
Yeah.
And just so people know, I'm using the Sennheiser Momentum 4 headphones, so those are not $30 headphones. You can look them up on Amazon. But even with those headphones, there is still a slight delay, and I think mine support Bluetooth 4.2 or 5.3, I forget, but it's one of the modern Bluetooth standards.
Can we ask the sound effect guy what he uses?
Oh, that'd be a good question.
The guy that does the sound effect.
I actually have tried Bluetooth for many, many, many years. They're not reliable. So when it comes to any technical work, I have wired headphones. I stick to them. I'm on wired headphones right now. And I always use wired headphones on my phone because Bluetooth is unreliable.
Okay.
No, I disagree. For me, Bluetooth is very reliable, but I agree. I agree with you in the sense that if it's something like if I were doing mixing work or like what Paul said, I do like a lot of high res audio. I actually pay for a service called Qobuz, and that's not very popular here in America, but I don't care. Everybody knows I'm no stranger to controversy and confrontation. So, but when I'm listening to music on that, I tend to use wired. But
Okay,
if
let
I'm
me
on a
ask.
phone call or just watching YouTube or Netflix or Hulu or something, I use Bluetooth a lot.
Okay, let me ask you this, Brandon. Not that I really want to delve into this, but I'm curious. Okay, since you do use Bluetooth a lot on your phone, if you was to be doing, say, a job interview, would you still use Bluetooth?
Yes,
Huh? Okay.
yes, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. I haven't seen that many kinds of Bluetooth headphones, but I'm always afraid to lose them. Like especially when you're outside and if you're using them and then one falls out, what do you do? Like if you don't have anybody with you, just search on the ground with your hands trying to find the damn thing, or like no, I
Yeah.
much rather have wire that connected to
You,
my phone and I don't
you
have to
could
worry about.
use IRA or another blindness specific product that could
Yeah, I
be
see,
your
but it's
eyes.
extra hustle.
Correct.
I like the gong sound earlier. It's like east meets west. Yeah, it's like east meets west. Meets west.
But it's, I guess, all personal preference.
Becca's adding her own sound effects.
No, it is, and I do agree with you all that wired does categorically, definitively give better audio quality with lower latency. Yeah, it does. I'm just saying those things aren't always of paramount importance to me. They are important, but they're not always of paramount importance to me.
I could never imagine, say, gaming wirelessly. I know some people do, but I think most gamers still use wired headphones.
I would agree. Yeah.
Because I mean,
Unless
when I used
you get Bluetooth headphones that specifically advertise low latency, I think
but
you can get them, but you have to really search for them.
and they're probably going to be very expensive. And my thing is when I used to kind of game a little bit, which is how Brandon and I met. We used to play a game back in the day, which is how him and I met. I would have never dreamed of using Bluetooth headphones, and some people that we played with did, and then we beat them, and that might be why we did.
Oh, yeah.
What does it sound? Do you guys hear the sound? Like it's a very weird sound. Like
Wait, what does
What
it
is the
sound like?
sound?
it sounds like a microphone. Like how do you describe this? It goes up and down. Like it. I don't know what is going on.
I
You don't hear anything at all?
I hear it kind of now. Is that?
Oh, I think Gina's doing sound effects. I think
I don't
our
No,
admin
there is some sort of
interference.
it's a little, yeah, it's very slight.
Yeah,
Somebody's
but I
got
hear
some sort of hiss or
right. That's what I'm talking about. I hear it very well, and
Is
it
it on
goes
my
up
phone?
and down, and yeah, I don't know.
which is a
Mhm.
perfect segue into whether or not blind people hear any technical differences between Bluetooth and wired.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't speak to that since I don't use Bluetooth. So I have no comparison point.
I don't have enough experience with Bluetooth to really give an opinion. I think Brandon would probably be the one who could. Brandon or Becca, maybe y'all could probably be the ones that talk about it the most.
I don't use Bluetooth anymore because I got tired of losing my AirPods, and
Oh,
shit.
okay.
But
Yeah.
I think I might have in my drawer a Bluetooth headset that rests on top of the head because I hated the earbuds falling out of my ears all the time. I think I might have one of those in my drawer that I can charge up.
Okay, Brandon, what do
Well,
you reckon?
I think that, like, yes, I do notice a difference, but that's because of how innately I pay attention to my ears, and so, but I guess I think generally, like, it's only like producers and mix engineers and stuff that are gonna notice it, I think. But technically and definitively, yes, I do notice a difference, and that's because the Bluetooth audio stack cannot carry lossless audio. It doesn't have the bandwidth, so you're always gonna. I mean, it's just there's nothing you can do if you're using Bluetooth. You're inherently limiting yourself. Now, there's different algorithms and stuff that try to get around it, but it cannot support uncompressed audio, which I do like.
I would say this is very interesting to me because here we have a panel of people who really don't use it yet. More than half of that particular survey still uses wireless. And when I used to work, there'd be people who'd listen to music. We'd all listen to music sometimes. We all did listen to music, and we all do still. But most of them preferred wireless. They had the ones made by a specific fruit, and then they had others made by other companies as well. So I find it very interesting.
They had ones made by a specific fruit. You mean apple?
Correct. I didn't want to give them any. I didn't want to give them any plug. I didn't want to rep them. They're not paying us. I thought it was clever.
Well, I'll just say I don't like wired for most use cases because it's so that wire just I don't like it. Is it because it's going to snag? Why? Exactly. Yeah, it gets in my way. It's going to get caught in my phone case when I put my phone in the case. It's going to wrap around my beer bottle and tip my beer bottle over.
Then take the cord and put it down. I mean, I don't want to be weird, but put it in your shirt, okay? Like put it down your shirt. You'll be just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to do
that. Can you hear me?
Well, why not? Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I was afraid I might be muted.
No, why not? Because I mean, if you are afraid of it getting snagged, then that's all you got to do.
I mean, that is a solution. I'm not saying it's not. That is a solution, but
what I hate is getting my cords snagged on crap on my desk or
I'm saying.
Like and pull it over my can of pop or something like that.
I'm saying
exactly. Now hang on a second. You shouldn't be drinking Coke by your computer anyway.
Yeah, well,
you can with Bluetooth. Drive on by, popos. I'm using Bluetooth. I won't spill a thing. If I do, that's on me, not my cable.
Yeah, but if you dropped it. Yeah, if you dropped it, if you don't if you can't find it, you don't know where you lost it. What do? You have one headphone, so you're stuck with one headphone. It could be in your bed, it could be in your bathroom, it could be in your kitchen. I mean, if you call IRA, you're gonna take a search all across your house,
No. So I think you're thinking of earbuds. You're thinking of earbuds. I use headphones, like the kind that sit on top of your head, and then they have speakers on your ears. I use headphones.
Oh, well, maybe that's a better option. But I just had earbuds. That's why I had so much trouble with.
Oh, now I actually do agree with you there. Yeah. Oh, whoa. No, I don't. Do you know, Paul? Do they make Bluetooth earbuds? Whoa. If they do, I would not use that.
Oh yeah, they would. Of course.
Yeah, that's what I have.
There's a company. That makes fruit. Or that is a fruit company, and they have their pods.
Yeah, I have Apple Pods.
They have their AirPods, yeah.
Yeah, and so they're basically earbuds. There's a company whose name begins with Sam, and they make pods as well, or buds as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't. But I guess it's because I don't like the earbud form factor. So I don't know. I guess I always figured they would have something to put around your neck or something so that you didn't lose them.
No, they don't.
Hey, guys, can I ask the panel a question?
Sure.
So I'm looking for another house, right? And the thermostat in my current house is not working for me. And so when I move into my new house, when I finally find one, I want to get a new thermostat from that house. I want to get one that works. And this thermostat that I currently have is supposed to be an accessible thermostat, but it's never really been accessible. So can you guys tell me if any of you have an accessible thermostat, and can you tell me if you like it, if you find it's really accessible?
I used to have one. It was called the VIP 3000, but I don't even know if they still make it anymore.
Did you like it? Was it good? Did it do everything?
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Why don't they have blind people sections at sporting events? Why do I gotta pay the same price to not see shit? Okay? The Jumbotron ain't even built for me.
I am the business manager here at the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
I see you brought the film crew. Make sure you get my good side.
All right, settle down and get focused on your tasks.
I teach the art of cuisine, child.
You wanna know what the problem, the biggest problem in the blind community? It's you sighted people.
Just take your look over here.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, man.
Okay, you all need to turn off those cameras and just leave the building.
Wait, Joe, hold on.
Oh, on your right.
You're on the right.
How would you know that the men you're dating are black?
No, this is not card member services. This is the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
Gigi, where are his pants?
I don't know.
Billy doesn't f***ing work here. He basically came with the building.
I can be the very first mayor of Blind Sylvania.
Make blind America great again.
There goes my pie.
This happens every day.
No, of
Sometimes.
course not.
Okay, we're back.
So Becca, what to get back to your question, what thermostat are you currently using at this time?
I don't even know what thermostat it is. It's I used to have a better one. I think I don't even know what it's called. I'm so sorry, Paul. I just thought if you guys have one that you do like, that I could look at it.
See if you can get one, because we have one, and I know I'm being very helpful when I tell you that I can't recall the name of it right now, but we have one that is able to connect to our Google Nest, so we can adjust our thermostat just saying Google, and then set temperature to blah blah blah, and then it'll do that, and that's really nice.
I used to have a Nest. Actually, I think it is a Nest thermostat that I have right now that's not working, but I don't know. The thing is, the app on the phone isn't accessible is my problem. So I always have to have my boyfriend or my handyman adjust the thermostat.
Are you using Home for the app?
So,
because you should theoretically be able to link all that with Google Home.
Yeah, but if she has an iPhone,
I have Alexa. I don't have Google Home. I have an Alexa, and I don't even run it through my Alexa. I used to use it, like my old one. I had the Nest. I think it's either the Nest one I have now or the Nest one I had before. I had one before that worked really well off the app, and then I don't remember why I had to get a new one. And this new one, it's just never worked for me on the app. Like the buttons on the app, they're not. Like they don't work properly, you know.
They're not labeled, probably.
Yeah, and so it's really not functioning very well for me. So that's why I want to get a different one. I thought,
it's with Google Nest though.
No, it's not with Google Nest. I think it's a Nest thermostat, is what I think.
Okay, I wonder if you can link it with.
But I have an Alexa. I wonder if I can.
That's what they're called.
No, a lot of times if it's a Nest,
that's what they're called, the Nest thermostat.
Yeah, I know they're called Nest thermostats. We're talking about I'm sorry, guys. My boyfriend was inserting.
Well, I'll tell you this, Becca. The one that I had, which again was called the VIP 3000, it was smart, but it was dumb. So you would not be able to call any assistant to do anything with it. You would have to physically walk your butt over to it and raise or lower the temperature. But the one upshot of that is you don't have to deal with any of this.
Yeah, I had a thermostat like that I loved. But I used to have a thermostat that I could operate with an app on my phone, and I never had to call anybody to help me do it. The app was accessible. The buttons were labeled properly. They all worked. They weren't dimmed. All of that.
But you're saying you want to be able to control it via an app?
Yeah, that's what I want. I used to have
Yeah.
one that worked great via an app, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
My
with
new
ours
one
we
doesn't.
can, but it may be in fact that you have to get maybe like Google Home is with Nest. And so then with the
Uh-huh.
Google Home app, we can control it and by using the Google trigger
Okay.
either way. And so you may have to get, if you wanted to use an app, you may, if it is in fact a Google Nest thermostat, you may, what I would suggest maybe is try getting maybe the Google Home and maybe you could link it up with that.
And
And
I was
Speaking
being a
of
little
apps,
facetious earlier, but home should work on iOS just fine. I was just messing around. It should work fine.
And speaking
of
of Google
apps,
Home,
this might be a good time for us to jump onto your topic, Anya, about this two-way. What is, whatever that is.
What is two-way?
oh, you guys, it's just something really weird. I'll tell you
Anya
very
said
quick.
something is weird. Whoa.
Yes, it's really. It's really pretty freaky to me. Okay, so I saw this advertisement about this app just not too long ago. So some guy, I forgot his name, but he's a former Disney star, and he's a co-founder of this app. I know, right? Yeah. And he created this app where you can upload images and short clips, like audio clips and video clips of anybody, like of your relatives, and AI. It's all run by AI. So basically, if you have clips of your, say, deceased grandmother, right? But we have lots of videos with her, and then you upload those videos, like with her voice, with her, mimics and gestures and everything. So in an AI makes it interactive. So you can come and say like, "Hi, Grandma," like, "Hi, sweetheart, how was your day?"
Oh man, it's so creepy.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh. The audience collapsed. Oh, they're trying to give you the heebie-jeebies on you.
Yeah, I thought I would bring it up to you guys too, because last time that's what inspired me to talk about this, because last time we talked about cassettes and recordings of, and I thought like, oh my gosh, I mean, I think it's too crazy. I read that from a psychological perspective, it's pretty weird because you don't go through the normal grieving process.
yeah.
And it can make people really dependent. But even without that, like, I can't imagine just knowing that somebody's dead and I turn on my phone, open the app, and say like, "Hi, blah blah blah." And
Somebody needs to figure out how to set that up so they can charge people. And however many times they've got to hear their grandma say, "Honey, I love you," they get paid each time.
I just I've mentioned it, I think maybe once on the podcast, but I had a very, very close friend of mine pass away in August. And it's been very hard for me. I still miss her very, very much every day. But I say that to say I was messing around with some of these AI apps where you can put people's voices in, and you could, kind of a similar sounding app. And I admit, I thought about it, but I said to myself and thought to myself, and this is kind of my opinion on it, that algorithm, that AI will never be her, and it won't replace who she was to me ever. I could ask it for advice, or I could ask it for, how her day was or whatever. I could do that, but it will never be her.
Yeah.
And so to me, I think that personally for me, I couldn't do it because I want to keep her memory the way that it
Keep
was.
it sacred.
And I want to remember her the way that she was. And I know though that some of these AIs, like you kind of said, Anya, have been created to kind of fill that purpose. And I just think you need to, remember the time you had with that person. And if you need to cry about it, cry about it. I'm kind of with you. I don't think psychologically it's a good thing.
No, it's not. And plus, you said advice. You can ask for advice, but it's going to be AI advice. It's not going to be the advice that person would have given you. There's no way. They would not know what the person would have thought.
And how can AI give you a hug like your grandma gave you in real life?
Well, and I just
no. I'll just add though that this isn't exactly the same, but I think though that it could make sense, like because I know there are certain programs where you can intentionally make a copy of your voice, and the purpose of the programs like that are to help you, like if you know that you're gonna lose your voice. Like let's take RFK Jr. Before he sounded like this, he get. I mean, I don't mind it. RFK Jr.
I
He's
love
a great guy.
RFK Jr., but I forgive you.
He's a great guy. No, he's a great guy. But before his voice took on that quality, if he would have used one of these apps, then he might be able to, in certain contexts, communicate without that kind of abrasive, gritty sound.
Well,
I
in his case though, he has dysphonia, right?
Right.
He can.
That's what I'm saying. He could, if it would have been around before he developed that,
he can get that fixed.
Can I make a suggestion, Brandon? That for the rest of the podcast, the 9 minutes we have left, you only speak in that voice, please.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to oblige that.
Are we allowed to leave early? Because I feel like if I hear that for another 30 seconds, I'm going to have to leave.
Well, you're welcome to leave if you want.
You're one of the radical left that believe that everybody should be given 50 shots by the time they're 2 years old. And the scientific data just doesn't clearly indicate that that's necessary.
Do you need to go to the bathroom?
No.
I love this.
I did that beforehand. That sounds like a personal matter to me.
Thank you for sharing that.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty good, Brandon.
I'm glad you like it. I do too. We need to, the inverted food pyramid is fine. Increase the protein, increase the organic availability in food deserts. I completely agree.
Wow, that is just great.
I'm all of a sudden wondering if I get paid enough to do this. But yeah,
I love you, RFK Jr. I'm just having fun, dude. You're fantastic. His
dysphonia can be fixed. My favorite singer, Alison Krauss, had it, and she was able to get it fixed. And there is a coach. Yeah, there is a coach who can fix that. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I think his can be fixed. It's very hard. It's a very hard process, but
I mean,
with all the resources that he has, all the information about health he has, do you think he would not have thought of it? He would not have found a way to do it? Maybe there's more than just dysphonia.
Yeah, if there's more than that, then yeah, that might be a bigger issue. But if it's just dysphonia, then
it's called spasmodic dysphonia, and
correct.
There is no permanent cure to it. So yes, he could probably figure out a way to manage it, but it is quite possible that he's already looked into some of this stuff and doesn't want to do it, such as Botox injections. I wouldn't want it.
I hate Botox, dude.
But do you guys know that I actually met him in person?
Oh, you did?
I did.
Yeah.
I have a picture with him. He is hugging me. Where's that? Like he came to. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Wow.
Where did he come to?
Yeah. It was during this COVID hysteria and vaccine mandates and all that stuff. So he came to Kansas City and he was speaking at one of our events. It was the event was Kansans for Health Freedom, and he was our main. Yeah. So and he came, and at the end of the event, everybody came up and tried to take a picture with him, but he gave me special attention because I had a cane, and. He saw me, and then my husband and I came up there, and he was still running for president at the time. And we took, and he came, like I stood in front of him and he just hugged me, and we took a picture, and I said, "Good luck with your campaign." He said, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming."
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because yes, I paused So you can put that in your sound effects next week. I'm looking forward to hearing that. But does some people are kind of weird about this? Does it bother you, or did it bother you that you did, quote unquote, receive special treatment because he's seen you had a cane?
Oh yeah, I was happy in this regard. Like I used my blind card to full extent. You know, I was like, hell yeah.
Okay.
Years ago when I went and saw Sarah Palin speak at what was it called? She came to Missoula and spoke at this organization for women. I don't remember what the organization was called, but I went there and I also stood up. I'm 6 feet tall. I stood up and held my cane out in front of me, right? Hoping Sarah would notice me too. So I know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
No, I'm just curious. Because some people are kind of like, I don't want
President Trump
special.
mentioned me by name, but I mean, I've given them all money. So President Trump, RFK Jr., absolutely. We need to make America great again, guys. I mean,
They mentioned you by name, or you wish they would mention you by name?
No, Donald Trump did. I was at a rally down in Yuma, and yeah. So.
He mentioned you by name, Brandon. How did he know your name?
Yeah, I want to.
Were you wearing a name tag he read?
No, I contributed money, and so I got an honorable mention. So.
Oh, really? Oh, well, isn't that nice?
Wow, very cool.
It is. I mean, we need to make this country great. Like what it used to be. It can be that again.
Yes,
I have never had anyone of that prominence.
We all need to do our part to make this.
Oh, I'm not bragging. Trust me. I I might be the next on the docs list. Okay, but I'm not denying that I did it either.
No, I've had experiences. Trying to think. We'll have to maybe talk about this later. But I did meet this was 20 years ago or so. I did meet the current president of Taiwan. He came to Alaska, and I did meet him, which was interesting. And then, yeah, I've met someone in the world of bluegrass quite a few times, but that probably won't really, that's not something that people know very much about. So I won't get into all that. But those are
I still have on my wish
prominent
list.
figures.
I still have to meet Trump on my wish list. I keep writing it down.
Yeah, it's on my wish list too.
Yeah,
I didn't meet him. I just was mentioned. But no, I've never met him. So.
Did you say, I'd like to mention these fine people, these fine Americans, these
he
Americans
did,
in Yuma.
actually.
I want to mention Brandon Miller. I want to mention somebody else who was a fine American, a very fine American, as a matter of fact. Is that what he said?
There's something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. That was my Trump imitation.
But how do you know Brandon was you? Maybe there was another Brandon Miller. It's a pretty common name.
I mean, in Yuma County,
way to raid on his parade.
I pray for President Trump's safety every day, and I always throw in, and please let me meet him, Lord. So,
yeah.
Well, yeah, going back to, I know we kind of want to wrap this up, but going back to the dysphonia, yeah, I know there isn't a permanent maybe fix for it, or quote unquote cure, but I know people have had it, and they have been able to kind of get through it.
Scott Adams,
Alexa,
that famous
stop.
commentator, he had it, and he was able to get it cured. One thing I would let you guys know
Alexa,
about
stop.
RFK's condition, according to the internet, is that it is possible that he is avoiding the Botox injections and the frequency of them. And the other thing is that any kind of rehabilitation might be prohibitive of his position in the government, because long-form public speaking can overwhelm and undermine the treatment benefits.
Oh,
because
yeah,
you would
I'm
have to go through a lot of periods of not talking.
Yeah, that's true. But I will admit, and I know we're fixing to wrap this up, but Alison Krauss is my favorite singer in the whole world, and she had it, and it was terrible. Yeah. And now she doesn't have it, and it's so inspiring to me anyway. And so if he was, are you clapping for her or for me? But yeah, so wondering if he could ever get it sometime, maybe, but who knows?
I want to point out that I love RFK's voice because it is so unique and it's easy for me to recognize it.
I agree. I agree, and it's not so much how he sounds; it's what he says and what he does. More importantly, and he's doing things.
But we now know that Brandon could call you tomorrow and pretend he's RFK, and you might not know.
Oh yeah, that would be terrible.
Oh right. How do I?
Yeah.
block
No,
numbers on-
I would try. I would do deep research into what he supports, and
Okay.
Well, see, Brandon, I'm sorry you didn't make it. We didn't make it to your topic of self-improvement, but I still think you made the show by making that impersonation.
Does anyone know how to block phone numbers from your contacts?
yeah, you use call filter.
Oh, okay, good. Let's see where your phone number is, and I'll see.
Oh no, I love what RFK Jr. is doing, and Susie Wiles is doing, and Donald Trump is doing, and
oh yeah,
he's got some good people around him, but the swamp runs deep. So
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us again next week for another exciting episode of The Blind View, right here on Becca's World, here on Rumble. Peace out. That's a wrap, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.